Oh, this is pretty wild. So cotton's still a big thing here.
It's bigger now than what it used to be.
My first run-in with raccoon.
Okay.
So thank you for that.
My mom's first little schoolhouse,
Oh, there's a little dollhouse.
probably over 100-some years old.
As a kid, you were pulling water out of it.
Out of the well, yeah.
This is the old jail. Here we go.
Plantation home right there. When I integrated, we was in the 7th and 8th grade.
Until that time, it was only black, and then you come in and it's white. What was that like? This whole packet is 382?
382.
In the 70s, it was like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like heaven on earth.
Good morning, guys. Here in the Mississippi Delta region, here in the deep South, first impressions feels almost like traveling to another country. Today, we're meeting up with a man named Booker T. Booker T's a local in the area. Said, hey, Peter, do you want to see what it's really like here, the local culture, even plantation culture? He said he can show us the former world and the current world of that, and some soul food. Meet up with some of my friends, we'll have a good time. Couldn't say no to Booker T, so that's what we're doing today. Getting into this part of the country that most of us have very little understanding of. Let's do this. This is a huge place you guys have. I thought it was a dentist office when I pulled in with all the parking spots, but it's just Booker T's home, right?
Right. This is my wife, her name Nothin Beckham, Booker T.
Lodine.
Beckham.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
This is my baby, my Escalade. I've been headed for 22 years.
It looks like, yeah, you just bought it yesterday, Booker T.
22 years.
This is a great zone you got here.
Yeah, just like heaven on earth. My mom had this stove, and she told me she wanted me to have it when she died. This is where we used to bake all the biscuits and anything you want to bake. And then we pick cotton. These are some of our cotton scales.
Okay.
So, and then this here, the pea, where you would weigh the cotton, right on this here. You put the pea on there. When the cotton sack is on here, and this here is hanging up on a hook too.
Okay.
And then you put the pea here, which is pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that goes on here. So this only goes up to like about 40 pounds.
Okay.
And then this one here, it goes up to like a couple hundred. We got a well over there. I used to we draw all our water from the well. And after the well broke down, this is what the thing was where the rope go in the well.
You grew up with well water.
Well water.
Okay.
I didn't have a bathroom till I was 15 years old. I'm a certified welder, diesel mechanic. And I did that in Wyoming for a little over 42 years. I left here, I didn't even have a GED. And when I went and did first welding test and got to be a welder, I just then grabbed a thirst for knowledge.
And so you came back to Mississippi.
Came back to Mississippi, one don't need us staying in Wyoming no longer. Our family here, we've been away 42 years. I said we might as well enjoy our family the rest of our lives and be back around them, so.
Okay,
And,
so today we're gonna get into where you grew up,
yes.
your family stories, what it was like, what it's like now, because you have an interesting perspective. You grew up in it, but then left it and then came back.
Came back.
So you see it maybe in a different way.
I do.
Which is cool. But okay, back there near your house, nice house, many nice houses.
Yeah.
We're in the Delta region or right on the side of the Delta region?
We kind of at the northern part of Mississippi. So when you get more in the Delta, you're down in Greenville,
where I came from
Greenwood,
today.
Clarksdale.
A little poorer over there.
Oh yeah, it's a lot poorer. Especially, you still got people in little houses that don't even have restrooms and stuff like that.
Still got that.
And they probably still pulling water from wells and stuff, you know? This used to be a little club we used to party at all the time.
This blue house?
Yep. Now that's our church straight ahead. Sweet Home AME Baptist Church. Right in this corner here is my mom's first little schoolhouse.
Oh, this wooden one.
Yeah, they really didn't have the schools uptown, but my mom and them were just out here in the country. They didn't have no buses or nothing then. So this used to be our store.
Okay.
This was our store and our house when my daddy bought it when they came out here. But this is the little school. They used to have a little school. Just a few kids in there.
Oh, there's a little dollhouse.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So that thing is probably over 100-some years old.
And the school chair's in here.
When my dad and them first came here, his cousin, Miss Rosie, used to live in this old house. My dad's cousins set up a lumber mill here, and they built homes, helped build homes for everybody. And my dad and them, after he got out the Army, and my cousin got the Army, they come in here and they bought almost 108 acres of land. So we're gonna run through here just a minute and show you my folks. This is our family cemetery. Maddie Beckham and Book back. My dad, he lived to get 100 years old.
How many generations back does your family go here?
About 3 generations. So our house used to sit right back in them trees. But
That was the house you grew up in?
Yeah, right back in them trees. And we used to walk right over here to our godmother, which is the house we own now. We didn't own it at that time, but my daddy ended up, as we progressed in life, making cotton, corn, and molasses and stuff. So that's what we own right here now, this 5 acres. It's almost 6 acres here. When I was 15, we moved into this house.
Who lives there now?
My sister Bertha Beckham. Yeah, that was my brother that died, Willie Earl truck there, his old truck there he had. And I'm gonna fix that up one day. And my mom built all the old sheds and stuff. But my brother used to live out in this one. He's drank quite a little bit. And my mom put him out the house and built him a shed out here where he wouldn't bother them coming in at night, you know? And then my mom had this little storage room. But my daddy used to farm. We farmed it all this right here with corn and stuff.
Okay.
But back down in the Philly area, you can call it the hollows, where we farmed all our cotton and corn. And we brought it up to here and we made molasses.
Hello.
That's my sister Bertha Beckham. Don't she look like me?
You guys are twins. As a kid, you were pulling water out of here.
Out of the well, yeah. Let's get a rock, see if anything down
How
in it.
deep is this one?
Yeah, yeah, the water's still in it. Ain't it? Wow.
So do you look back at your journey and just say,
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
I came from
Yeah.
a well and an outhouse to now having what you have
What
now?
I have now, ain't it? It's
And
amazing.
you just did it through your hard work?
Through my hard work. And my wife, yeah.
And your wife, and she's a nurse, right?
Yeah, she was a nurse. 38 years.
What do the people do for work out here? Like some of those nice houses we passed
So,
not long
so we
ago.
got the paper mill here. Them is some of the factories and stuff that pretty well. Now they just built a new Milwaukee plant here. So that's gonna help out a lot of people too.
Milwaukee tools?
Uh-huh.
So manufacturing jobs.
Yeah. You still got a lot of farming, you know. People still raise a lot of cotton, stuff like that. That's about it, you know.
So cotton's still a big thing here.
Yeah, it's bigger now than what it used to be.
Does the cotton go to China or to manufacture our clothes, or how does it work?
Yeah, I don't know where all they shipped it to, but yeah. It's, we got an old gin down here, but our big gin now is down in Winona, Mississippi. And that's where all the cotton kind of goes to, between there, yeah. She cooked the coon. We got a raccoon she cooked, so.
He got his house.
Yeah, she cooked the raccoon.
You cooked a raccoon.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
cooked the greens
Uh-huh.
and peas.
So this is a meal we're having today.
Yeah.
Raccoon,
Yeah.
peas, and greens.
And
Cornbread.
pork chop, and fried chicken.
How's raccoon taste?
Just like a
chicken?
roast. Like chicken, you know, everything tastes like chicken, you know this.
But best cornbread in Mississippi?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
this true?
And the best dressing is cornbread. With meal and flour,
Yeah.
Okay.
eggs and buttermilk. And buttermilk.
Oh, you're putting onions in there.
It's just
You put onion in it sometimes, you don't have to.
it's just like a hot cake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Eat
That's nice.
Eat some greens with this, and it'll be really good.
Good ain't.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. This is an old house, but you know, we've been still trying to keep it going for her though, you know? That was my room in there.
This was your room growing up?
Yep, she got 1 million pictures on the wall now. In the bathroom there. Yeah, well, we built this bathroom on into this house because we didn't even have a bathroom. Right. So this was just a whole room right here.
Okay.
You know?
What did your parents do for work?
We just farm.
Just farming. That's what everyone was doing.
Picking cotton.
Picking cotton.
Chopping cotton.
Did you pick cotton?
Mm-hmm.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'm one of the first ones.
Yeah.
I started when I was 6 years old.
Whoa.
With a 7-foot sack. When I got 12, I got the 12-foot sack.
12-foot sack.
Sack to pick the cotton.
Yeah, you know, you get different size sacks. Okay. Have your Ola or whatever.
Like a croaker sack.
Uh-huh.
When we were 6 years old. When we got 12, we got the long
sack, the drag behind you.
Okay, so the culture here really is cotton.
Yeah. Cotton and soybeans.
We're gonna go.
Yeah.
To do a plantation. Now, do you?
Ain't nothing but they're just a home there now. They don't even do nothing no more.
They don't do the cotton there.
No, they don't. Okay. But cotton area fields around it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But ain't no plantation, nothing like that no more. It just.
That's where I was born. You taking him over there on the Wickham Place?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to lock the doors out here or no?
Yeah.
So crime in the countryside?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What about your pit bull? They want to mess with your pit bull? I wouldn't.
This was like a cotton plantation. Rich guy bought it out now, and he just got cows and all on it.
When did it end? I mean, after the Civil War?
The Civil War is pretty well when that ended.
The cotton plantations
yes,
ended?
all that.
But they still had cotton here.
Well, because like I was coming up using mules and stuff. They never would give us no big loans or nothing. See all the cows they got now on here. Yeah. They would never give us no loans and stuff to buy a tractor or nothing, you know? My dad, we didn't make enough money to be able to afford a tractor. So we only had our mules and stuff with the amount of farming we did. It was just only for ourselves. Our corn and stuff, we raised our molasses. We raised them and we sold them for $6 a gallon, and that's what we made our little money. The cotton, we bring it down here to the gin, right on this road, in our mule and wagon. So we had a wagon, we'll pack it. Once we get like a bale or two of cotton, we'll pack it in the wagon. It's got to be, what was a bale of cotton in? About 2,000 pounds.
You were harvesting your own land, 180 acres.
Yes, just for us.
And you'd bring the cotton down and sell it.
Yep. And we would get maybe like $300-400 a bale then, if that.
Wow.
That was my daddy and my cousin, them sharecropping with Mr. Central McGee. But then once he died, then they lost the land, see? And we just only had that little 5 acres right there.
So what's sharecropping exactly? Can you explain
that?
So
sharecropping more, so my cousin Mr. Babe, by him letting us farm on the land, we would get 2 bales of cotton, he would get 1. Same thing as corn. We'll get 2 loads of corn, we'll take him a load to his crib for his animal.
It's just his land, you do all the work.
Yes, right. But it was like 8 of us in the house, 10 with my mom and dad. So you see, it took more food and stuff, but we had hogs and a few cows, goats, and that's where we kind of lived. No, chickens, raccoons, possums, all that stuff. So all that was cotton.
It's just been picked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see some cotton out there.
On the ground, yeah.
So there's good money in cotton still.
Yeah. Hey, there's more cotton being raised now than I ever seen, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because there used to be a lot of soybeans in my years of growing up. Well, we used to eat soybean burgers. See that stalk out there? I should get you a stalk. We'll grab some out of the field up here.
So they used to just come out.
Yeah.
Cotton ball by cotton ball? Is that how you do it?
Just picking it by hand.
So that's how it grows, just on these
see how it grow right here?
Yep.
Uh-huh. The summer would be a lot nicer.
That's it.
Huh? So you can take them back with you.
So how would you pick it? Would you break the whole stem?
No, you just come here.
And you just fill up a bag.
Yep, see how I'm picking it?
You're saying a bale, though, goes for over $1,000.
Well, we'll pull it up and see kind of now. But back then, see, you pick that like that and get them out them boats. We used to play with them like little animals. You see? And we'd get them and have a few of them. But you take that cotton with both hands and you put it in the sack and just keep picking all the way up the row.
That was the time when having more kids made you
Was
better
good,
off.
yes. So see, it wasn't no
Right.
problem when my mom, my dad met my mom.
Yep.
She already had, say, she had 6 kids, but 2 of them died. So it wasn't no problem for him to marry my mom with 4 kids already.
Yeah.
Because he was coming in on a farm, and he, you know.
He's like, sweet.
Yeah,
more,
sweet.
More money makers.
And then he had 4 more by my mom. And then, so it was all the way 8 of us. And then by my brother and sister and them, by the time we got up of age of farm, they was kind of easing out.
Okay.
And then we would hire kids to help us, you know, in the local area and pay them. And our daddy paid them a little money. But we just, our food and what he give us for Christmas and all that, give us out, and we buy a pair of boots, and you keep your shoebox for Christmas where you could put your stuff in it that they give you for Christmas, your little oranges and apples and the nuts. And every year, I get a paper cap pistol, a paper gun.
Okay, yeah.
That was look like every year. You got your paper cap gun, you know?
So literally in one generation, it went from have as many kids as possible because it's going to make you better off as a family, to don't have many kids because they're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive now.
It changed in one generation.
Yeah. And then that's why you see now, like a lot of the women have a lot of kids now, what they are. They pretty well on welfare or something, you see?
Right.
Because that's, you know, ain't nothing for her to do, but a lot of them now, if they're having kids, is because they getting welfare or getting stamps and stuff like that.
Are a lot of people on welfare here in this area?
You got a lot of them, yeah.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like what percentage?
Especially after the virus. I would say with welfare, I don't just regularly know, but I bet you 60% or 50 or 60%.
Wow, seriously.
Yeah, a lot of the blacks more. You know, you got a lot of white now on food stamps. Well, we're going to go up to the grocery store, you'll see.
Okay.
See my name? And I got you some cotton. So that's was like the big madam house there, you know, the big plantation home right there. All back in there, all that land you see back where we come through. Dubois Plantation.
So the business model was get a bunch of land, get a bunch of slaves, make a bunch of money.
That's right.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah. And then this one guy, black guy, he ended up in kind of like probably like the Dubois guy. He ended up and he wouldn't be no farmer for someone. He ended up and bought his own land and had the blacks to help him. You get me?
The black guy had black slaves.
Yes.
Really? They could do that?
Well, yeah, but he paid them better and he gave them stuff, you know?
Okay.
And that's why a lot of the blacks end up doing better, you know?
How does it feel for you when you get near these establishments? Is it like it was so long ago, whatever, or does it have some feeling to it?
It's just kind of like I knew my mom, them, and her fathers and forefathers, like my granddaddy, dad, and them. You know, I know they was into this slavery, you know, probably. And you know, we were just so much out of it by the time we got up. But I just kind of feel for them, you know, the work that they when the torture and stuff they went through, you know. Yeah. And like I said, a lot of them was in-house. You know how the in-house slaves were, the prettier women's and all like that. That's what they did, like the prettier women's.
Okay.
They kept them in-house to cook and whatever they did with them, you know. That's why you got so many kids, white kids and all, black, whatever, you know, that their parents was slave owners. And they went with the women, so they end up in their kids. They had kids by their women. So you see. So this is my friend down here. He's a meat processing plant. So we're gonna holler at him a minute. Interesting. Wayne Newton, great guy. There you go. What's up, buddy? This is his beautiful fiance. How you doing?
Peter. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So there's all the deer. They just cutting it up now, making deer burgers.
Deer burgers, nice. Okay, so the guys go hunt out here.
Yeah, they go hunting.
They bring the deer in, get money for it.
Well, you just bring him for him to process it.
And then they process it, and then the meat gets sold locally.
No, they just give it back to whoever it belongs to.
Oh.
I'm gonna take him by Spain and show him the grocery store where. Yeah, that's a busy place.
Spain.
People come from everywhere to buy grocery there.
It's an experience.
What about south, like south of Jackson area? Is it similar or is it different?
South of Jackson,
Yeah.
you start getting into the coastal region, it's different.
Why do they call some of the people in New Orleans coon ass? Right, he was asking me that.
Why do they call them coon eyes?
Yeah, I told him because where they back in the hills, back in the, huh?
They don't like to be called coon eyes.
They don't though.
What do they call you guys?
Redneck.
Buddy, we're gonna head on here. Appreciate you here.
Cool, my man.
We'll walk back on through if it's all right.
Take care, Wes.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
I'll get with you a little later, Wes.
Later, brother.
All right.
Let me ask you this, Booker T. Might sound silly from the outside,
Oh, it's all
so shut me off when you need to. But people would think, especially I would say in the north, everything down here is just racist, and there's
Oh,
no.
yes, yeah.
Give us the lay of the land with that stuff, because I see you with white people and it's like no problem.
I've been gone from, and that's all I deal with in Wyoming with white. See, so I have no problem with it. You get me? I
Okay.
treat people like I want to be treated. If I got a negative eye from you, then I'm through with you. You know what I'm saying? But if you treat me right, I'm gonna treat you right.
So how
That's
is it here in Mississippi?
We still got a lot of the prejudice, and you can tell it from some folks, but the few I got come around and start dealing with, and if they, deal with me, I deal with them, This is the old jail.
Oh,
See the
wow.
jailhouse?
This is the old jail. Here we go.
Ain't that something?
Yeah. How many years ago was that a jail?
Oh my God, that must have been, I bet you, 50 years ago.
50 years, that's it.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. That was the jail, and this was the little courthouse.
That was the courthouse.
Yeah, that's probably been 100 years ago, I say. So that was back when the plantation, all that was down in here, you see? Yeah.
So courthouse.
Yeah, in the
jail.
jailhouse, yeah. These some old stores used to be down here, right in here. That was the little
The
court and
fans
all.
up here, the old ceiling.
But I was a little boy. I used to come down here with a guy, was to Paul see him, and it was a restaurant down there. That's what kind of made me realize more of what was going on. We came down one day, we was helping him haul hay, and I told him, I said, well, see him, we'll just stay in the field and work, You just bring us something back. Y'all come on, y'all can go down and eat. And we got down there, and what made me really feel bad, when he went inside, we finna go inside with him, and he told us we had to go around to the back of it. So we went around, he had to go in, and we went around to the back and sat, and that was the worst hamburger I ever ate in my life. And because I wasn't understanding more of the prejudice then,
Okay, when was that?
So that was so I would say I was probably no more than about 12 or 13. So that was like in 72, 68, 72.
In the 70s, it was like that.
Yeah. When I got older, I said, I know I need to leave here and do something different,
Okay.
And I just seen how the life was and the prejudice in this and all that, and that's what made me leave Mississippi.
So in 42 years, has it improved a lot? Because you left at that time, and then you came back.
Well,
what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, like I said, you're meeting people now like Wes, Used to you didn't hardly go in there and walk around, talk to him like that in his business or something.
So there's integration now with a lot of people.
Well, that's another thing. So my cousin, Dr. Lee, was with a white gentleman all her life, but she called hell. He did too, coming up when we were little old kids, And he ended up married her, and they had kids together, but he just made his way through life with her, And my uncle shot him one time. Uncle Kerry ended up, they got into it and he shot him, but he ended up dying here about 8, 9, 10 years ago. And I'm gonna show you my old school. 71, I integrated.
High school?
No, this was when I integrated, we was in the 7th and 8th grade.
This was an all-white school before.
Yes, this is all.
Okay, so do you remember those? Do you have any memories? Like, what was it like walking up here and, up until that time it was only black, and then you come in and it's white. What was that like?
It was different, but we knew white kids and stuff, but we're not to be learning and sitting with them every day,
Okay, so were they?
Well,
were kids and they?
We were just kind of, the black kind of stayed to themselves, the white was still just stayed to themselves like they were done,
Okay.
Until you start, and when we start, getting more into learning each other, and in the class is when things start getting a little better,
Okay.
So, but at first, it was just kind of a shock, what is going on, but we knew. It was integrating time, and we just accepted it and just went along.
So it went pretty smoothly.
It went kind of smooth. It was fights and stuff, but
okay.
You just tried to mind your business. And this kind of where there used to be a catwalk there. See where that?
Yeah.
And you come over here to the cafeteria. The cafeteria sat right over here. I remember one time I was sitting by that tree throwing up. And my sister Betty had a whole jug of Valley High wine under the bed. And they went to a wedding. So me and my two sisters, we knew that wine under that bed, and we drank the whole jug. And drinking moonshine from my daddy, crib. We go out there, and you talking about the next day, I remember that tree sitting right out there, throwing up by it,
It helped it grow, look at it.
Ain't it? And I cannot stand Valley High wine to this day.
You're saying a lot of this land is owned by a certain family?
Yep, the Kirk family. Kirk, Gene Lown, and all them, they just like the Mississippi Wonder Boys and stuff, It's like the Ford place here, see Kirks, and all this belongs to them.
Okay.
All this right in
So
here.
I'm not saying it's the Kirks, but are there those situations in Mississippi where the money's come down from slave times, stayed in the families?
That's pretty well.
And built these empires?
That's pretty well. Where is that? Now, they probably own half of the banks if you want to, you probably could jump in and try to borrow money but you ain't, they already own everything, you get me? This more the car lots and stuff, you get me? They own all this stuff up through here, the newer stuff. What else there is? Anything come up, these folks already got it. You make and try to do your car wash, they already got that, You want to start a laundromat, they already taken. So I'm, myself, like I said, I'm trying to look at, when I do turn 65, I want to do a little something more, If I could set up a welding shop or something, a welding business, I want to do more, but I don't want to really do more. You get me? Because I'm retired. I want to just enjoy my life, but I don't want to just, like I said, leave this world. And with the knowledge I got, I like to kind of share more of it, even with my kids and grandkids. But they already got their thing, basketball players and all. That's all they interested in nowadays. And I don't want to just bring up farming, because I don't want to farm no more. Like Rita said, she don't want to even see bell cotton, Not only do nothing like that, it's just the stuff I done went away and learned, like a skill. I like to see, like I said, more of the kids around here do something more with their time and stuff. It's just still bad. It's, when we ride up through here, we may see a little.
It's bad, what do you mean?
For us, the kids just around here just killing each other and stuff like that, that are them being in a vocational school or something, trying to get some training or something. They figure it's easier to sell drugs or something like that than it is to work, This used to be the old theater.
Oh,
that's a historic site. Yeah, look at it, see?
That's sad. So you remember that as a kid going in there?
Yeah, a few times going in the theater and then a bar right there. It used to be a little Pinky Cafe used to sit right here. Had the best chicken sandwiches. And this was old Eddie Lewis' shop. And my sister used to live right here in this little house. So this is where we used to party. That's where me and my wife, I kind of met her. That we used to do a little old house right there. Wow. Yeah. It was a big old apartment right here, and it burned down long ago. And about 5 people burned up in it right there.
What's this mural here, this plaque? Or Blues Trail?
Take a picture of that. Yeah, that's something.
Are you a big Magic Slim fan?
I like him. I'm a little Walter, B.B. King, Bobby Bland, all them.
So you had your theater down here,
Yeah,
the bar,
yeah. And my
lively
sister house.
streets, everyone
Oh yeah, it
out,
was nice
hanging
back then.
around.
When I come up here in 78, 79, it was all nice then, you know. And it wasn't much. Like I said, we get to fighting, we fight, and that was about it, you know. Oh, Joe Eddie, hey Eddie, you know me.
You lived here?
Yeah, it was right, our apartment was right in there.
Right there.
Uh-huh. Then there was a couple more clubs in here. I tell you, all the gangsters sleep right now, see. And this was a couple cafes here. We used to party in these here. Even back when I was 15, 16, we'd come here, in out of the end, you know? So there was a couple little juke joints and stuff. We used
Did
to
anyone have bars on their windows back in the day?
No, not as much as now, because people break in them, you know? That was the church where Martin Luther King came to years ago.
Oh, wow.
And they see it broke it down now, so they built a new church over there.
Okay.
But this where when Martin Luther King first came here. Hey, Jay. What's up, brother? Who passed away? Some of your family? Hey, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what was his name?
Johnny Ross.
Johnny Ross?
Yeah.
How'd that load in now? How you doing,
How
Johnny?
you making, man?
Good, good.
How you making, man?
Hello, sir.
Just a rock, all right?
Peter Santenello.
Okay.
Yeah, he done a documentary on me, man, and yeah.
Okay, that's all right. then.
Back when we come up out here.
Okay.
Me and Jesse went to school together.
You
Oh,
did.
yeah? Booker T, you know everyone.
Well, I know people, yeah.
He's gone 42 years and knows everyone.
Well, I mean, that's a good age, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
People
gone
don't
long
forget.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're doing a good job. Do the document and
Yeah.
take you around and see everything.
time. Yeah.
We are.
I know, right? Take it.
All right,
Thank you,
take care.
sir.
Yeah, man.
This kind of a little bit of the rougher areas down in here too.
So a lot of people in these homes, you think, are living off food stamps?
A lot of these back in here, yep, pretty well.
Who's paying the rent?
Well, so they get, they probably getting a little check too, you know. So a lot of these in say in this apartment. I can guarantee you a lot of
okay.
them. I used to live here in this Pearl Street apartment. A lot of these here probably older home now. They probably paid for and stuff.
Okay.
But they ain't got no assistant letting the older folk getting a little check, you know. But otherwise, a lot of the younger girls that got pregnant and got 3 or 4 kids. I used to live in that bottom apartment right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me and Lodine for about a year. There's some people living in there now that was there when I left and still there.
Do you think there are actually women that want to have more kids because they'll get more money? Do you think that exists?
Yeah.
You really do?
Uh-huh.
I mean, kids are expensive, though.
Yeah, but they're gonna get a check and the stamps. They're gonna pay their rent because they're gonna get a check also, you know. So this is the town square here.
Oh, this is nice.
This is the little town square, and our courthouse right here, and that's all the jail and all now. But that was a drive-in theater used to be right over there. So this statue, they waiting to move it. My cousin was in on moving this. He was a big slave owner, so they don't want no memory, you know.
Yeah, understandable. But okay, where do you draw the line on that? So Thomas Jefferson, like everyone in those times had slaves, right?
Yeah.
Like Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
So what do we do with that?
Well, it's all over with now, and that's why you see the days now, they want to take history away, because of the people was doing that kind of thing.
Right.
What have we done? Have we just getting rid of all that? I don't care, and a lot of folks don't, but a lot of folks still do, and a lot of folks still got gripes about it. And like I said, that's why this ain't the only place. Down in Winona, they got stuff they got to moving them out and stuff,
Yeah.
and put them in other areas. So a lot of them they destroy them, They was throwing them in the rivers and stuff like that. So they told them they don't care about them having it, but they want them to put it out in this big park.
Sure.
As a more, white park or something. Put it out there. They say.
So yeah, I totally understand if that was a statue of some big slaveholder around here. I wouldn't want to hear.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And that's what
even as a white guy, I wouldn't want to hear.
Yeah.
But then it gets sticky because, as with the times,
Yeah.
like our founding fathers, the people that wrote our Declaration of Independence, did amazing things, also had slaves.
Had slaves too.
So then,
yeah. What are we going to do with that stuff? We're going to
what
get
are we
rid of
gonna
that stuff
We're
too?
going to get rid of our money and take their faces off everything, and
Yeah.
that's where it gets sticky,
I got you.
I don't know. It's a tough topic.
It is.
But the way I was brought up in my education, like we were hammered pretty hard.
Yes.
With the history, and I'm glad it was that way. You know, we were taught the big events and how bad it was, and we learned about the history, and then, you know, growing up in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, I thought it was somewhat in the rear view mirror, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what now.
And now it seems like it's coming back.
Yeah.
Like we're getting pitted against one another again a bit.
I got you.
And it's not the MLK message of quality, you know, content of character, not color of skin.
Yeah.
It's turning more into identity.
Yeah.
And maybe not here, but I'm just saying, like, from
place.
the powers that be, it seems like it's more like that. And I just want to not care about what anyone is. Are they a cool person or not?
That's what I tell you. I treat people how they treat me.
Same.
You know?
Same.
Yes. And I don't care what color you are, you know?
Yeah. But you can't talk about Mississippi or the South without talking about this history.
You're right.
I don't want to glaze over it.
No. I don't mind. And I mean, I'm showing you, you know, where the plantations and all that
I
was
appreciate
here.
it. Yeah.
So this is Spain supermarket, okay?
Spain's is where it's going on.
Yeah. It be so busy sometimes you can't even walk through here, you know? Pork chops and fishes, eh?
$2.88 a pound.
Yeah.
That is so cheap. Wow. I mean, this whole packet is $3.82.
$3.82, see?
That's like dinner for 8.
People come from everywhere. Memphis and everywhere shop here.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
4 big steaks, $7.12.
A lot of people eat chicken gizzards and...
Oh my God, $2.01. You can't even get a bottled water for that.
What's up, brother? How you doing? Yeah. What you got going on? We're doing a little documentary on this is Peter.
We're making a video of Booker T. You got some stories?
I know the story. Not the stories I got from you won't hit them.
My nephew was married to her daughter.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Yakes, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I thought that boy sounded pretty good treatment.
Yeah,
Booker
he done
T for
a
mayor?
documentary on me now from the old South. Uh-huh.
You got the right man?
Yeah, I think so.
He said, you got the right man, huh? Hey, my girl.
Hey, now.
How you doing? This is Pete Santenello.
How you doing, man?
I done a documentary.
Doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a postal lady here, post office.
Oh, okay, great.
A friend of mine.
Cool.
Hey, bro. How you doing, man?
How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Yeah.
Nice to meet
That's my carrot.
Yeah, ain't it? Yeah, how you been doing? I'm doing good, man. Street across the strokes in. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, holler at me out there and keep doing good, okay? All right. Hey, brother.
Booker T, everyone knows you in there.
Oh, yeah, man.
How cool is that?
You ought to see in Wyoming. They told me I definitely need to run for mayor in Wyoming. So here was my first welding when I was learning how to cut in school. I cut out my name and my wife's name.
Ah, you're a true romantic.
Look at that. So that was my name when I learned how to start cutting with torches. And I cut, and I used to be over my office desk, over my office door in my home up in Wyoming.
The one you and Ed be doing?
Yeah, and you jump up, you jump back, go, jump up, back, kick your feet, and you turn again. You do it four times, you know?
Your hips are a little tight, I'm noticing.
Yeah,
You gotta.
And the leg here too. That's what the guy told me. He said, Booker do pretty good if he spray a little double D40 on his hips.
Booker T, what's going on in here?
All right, we having some raccoon today. We having fried crappie, fried chicken. My sister cooked the fried bread here, kind of like little pancake bread. Rita cooked some black-eyed peas and some greens here too, and okra. You ate okra and mashed potato and turnip greens.
Okay.
And this is a nice little meal, and I'm gonna say a verse for us. Dear Father, I want to thank you for this food that all of them have prepared for us. I want to thank you for just being grateful to us, Father, and watching over us. And I want to thank Peter here. He came in to visit this house, and I'm thankful for him visiting us, and hope you have a nice journey on way heading on to. And I want to continue to thank God for all he does for us. In his name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Here we are now after 64 years of my life, you know. So, and I thank God for my wife. I've been with her 45 years and 3 wonderful kids, Monica, Chandra, and Dante. And I thank God for my sisters and brothers. And I hope this be a good start for a lot of people to, you know, do. And I told him we just seen the kind of kid uptown. I like to see more ambition in kids now than what they are doing, you know, for us working, you know, get a craft or something, you know, and not just being like sorry and don't want to do nothing, you know. Right. You want the money, but they don't want the labor, and they take labor to make money. So that's it, you know.
It's an evil town.
It's evil.
Evil state. They don't want you to have anything.
Yeah, man.
If you get anything, you get it on your own. Ain't nobody gonna help you get it, you know?
Who's they?
It's still, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
it's still like a black and white thing down here in the South.
Right.
It's moved since way back in the time, but this particular town here is still kind of stuck into the ways it was years and years ago.
Yeah.
So blacks had to strive and struggle to get any and everything that they wanted, you know, and whites have always had it easy because, like you say, it's generational wealth. They kept it on in their family, so it was handed down to them, and blacks had to strive and find ways to get it on their own. I do like Booker, move out of state.
Can I
and
say
come back.
some whites? Yes, some whites I see in the trailers, like they're not doing too well, right?
Yeah, they didn't get handed down nothing. They didn't have nothing to hand them, so they had to struggle too. So but that comes from the sharecropper mode. Back in the old days, blacks sharecrop. So you sharecropped with some whites too. Those whites were just as poor as you were, but you were working together with them to try to obtain something.
Okay.
So then you have the people that own it, that do have that generational wealth, that own the plantations or whatever. And then you had some whites that had to work on the plantation too to make a survival too. So it kind of comes 2 different ways.
But the ones that really control Mississippi are these families where it's generational wealth. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And then you just have to get in where you fit in.
Right.
Booker T, this is my first run-in with raccoon.
Okay.
So thank you for that. Ever since I kicked them out of my house when they destroyed it, I've had a bad relationship. So this is revenge, maybe.
Never, yeah.
A little revenge here.
Just like a nice roast.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
My buddy Lance in Wyoming, he loves it now.
That's actually really good. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I think I would like
You go
it.
in and get it.
Oh yeah.
Get some yam. Come on, fix your nice plate up.
Get some yam. actually.
You're at home now, so
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
Very
enjoy.
generous here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Mississippi's evil, but why do you all want to stay? Why didn't you want to go where it's not evil then? Let's see.
I guess because we were born here.
But Booker T left 42 years and then came back to the evil.
This is what mostly everybody come back to retire.
Yeah.
They come back to retire.
Yeah.
If you're young, you sort of have to leave. You sort of should. Okay.
Wish my mama had got me out of here.
Okay, where to? You want to go Chicago,
No, when they
Atlanta,
left here. She should have left when they left and went to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Wyoming. You want to be a
I'm
cowgirl?
going there because it's cold out there and I can't stand cold.
I didn't know when I was little. I just wanted to leave because all my family was gone. My cousins was leaving and I wanted to go with them.
Okay, but get this. If you go to the countryside of Wyoming, all the young people will be like, I got to get out of here. There's nothing going on.
They say that anyway. Yes, that's true.
Right?
They do.
I went up there for a
Same
summer.
thing.
You liked it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So where's the dream? What's the Mississippi dream if they're going to go to a city? They're going to
Usually
leave.
Chicago. Most people
Chicago,
that go to
St.
Mississippi
Louis.
go to Chicago. And St.
St.
Louis.
Louis, yeah.
Yeah.
Detroit.
And
All mine.
I go to
They went
Texas.
to Detroit.
I'm
They
leaving to go
went
to
to
Texas.
Yeah, Michigan.
So when we have our family reunion right now, we more go to St. Louis or either Cincinnati because all our people now migrated to there.
Was that hard for you being in Wyoming when your people weren't there at all? It's like white as it comes, right?
Well, my brother was there and my sister was there and my
stepdad.
stepfather and then his
It's
7 or
as
8
white
kids.
as it comes. 1.8% black.
Yeah.
live in
Yeah.
Wyoming.
But we were just there, so we had each other. We do stuff on the weekend together,
Did they take you in pretty well in Wyoming? Were they cool to you?
Yeah.
Oh, very.
Very?
Yeah, it was like we were family.
So different in Wyoming than
Oh, yeah.
Mississippi with that?
We, like I said, in the bars right now, we go in there, man. You think people know me up there in Spain or something? We go in the bars up there, and
His chances would be better in Wyoming.
for me, huh? But it just everybody, like I tell you, I treated people right, and I did a lot of things. I had a detail business for 30-some years. I detailed a lot of folks' cars, a lot of older, folks, and just work on people's stuff the same way. We coming down
Oh, okay, okay.
there. We going down there.
We're gonna see your mom.
Her mom.
Her mom, yeah.
So enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's Chevy's Regal what I drink, but this is moonshine in it. I put some moonshine in this jug.
You made it.
A friend of mine made it.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. High octane.
But I'll take it and put a little 7-Up Sprite with it, And then this some of the wine, like I make.
You make the wine.
I make the wine.
Where do you get the grapes from?
So I bought like a whole thing of mustardine, a whole case of mustardine at Spain, and then I put them all in this 5-gallon bucket and let them set for about a month or two. And then I just strain it out. Put sugar east with it and let it set for about 2 months, and then you got your wine. I had about 8 jugs, but I mean.
What do you ladies think of Booker T's wine?
Well, he make it just like my mom used to make it. It just ain't good as my mom. Yeah, it don't taste.
Not as good as mom's.
Yeah, so that's it. I make that for Christmas. So when everybody come for Christmas, we'll drink some at Christmas.
In my cookie ladder, I cookie ladder, I humpback, I. That's Mississippi.
So you say, M-I crooked ladder, I crooked ladder, I humpback, I. All right.
That's Mississippi.
I got another one for you. So it's a cigarette joke. All right. So one cool morning, Miss Paul Mall headed down Chesterfield Lane in Winston-Salem, where she ran up on Philip Morris, and he took her to the Riley Motel in Newport. And right away, he put her into this king-size bed and stuck his king-size L&M into her flip-top box. And if she don't look like a camel in 9 months, it's a damn lucky strike. But he wasn't worried because he used a filter tip. That's a cigarette.
Booker T's mother-in-law's place. 95 years old, Booker T?
97.
97.
Turn 98.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, wow. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi there.
This is
Hello.
my mother-in-law,
Nice
Miss
to meet you.
Evelina. That's my sister-in-law.
Nice to meet you,
My
Evelina.
hand's cold.
No, it's actually, it's nice.
Yeah.
That's right. This is Peter. And
This
you
is Janie Mae, Nothin's sister.
have a seat.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Janie Mae. Good. What was it like when you were young here?
Yeah.
She can't
I
hear
tell
good.
him I don't hear
Yeah,
good.
she did.
I need.
I don't hear out above one ear. I don't
Okay.
hear good.
Can you
out
ask
here.
her for a good old story?
What was it like when you were young? He wants you to tell him what it was like when you were young. When
I
you were
was
the
young.
little girl.
Yeah.
Well,
You used to walk
it
to
was a
school.
lot of fun. I had fun, get with other kids and go for a ball. But other than that, I grew my brothers. I didn't have no sisters, but I had 4 brothers, and we grew up together and had fun, enjoyed myself.
Tell him you picked cotton. Do you remember picking cotton? Picked cotton?
Oh yeah,
Y'all
we
worked
picked
in the
cotton.
fields?
We chopped it when it was young and green, and then when it got white, we got out there and picked cotton. We had a ball.
She liked picking cotton?
Yeah, she did. Get outside, something to do, I guess. Tell him what it was like at school.
Oh, I enjoyed school. We had to walk to school, though. Some days we come in pouring down rain. I didn't like that, but we had fun going to school.
Oh, yeah. And what grade did you stop school?
I finished the 8th grade but I didn't go to college. I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed school
Tell
while
them
I
this.
was
I want to hear the
going.
little poem up there. What was it?
Short
Lonnie?
one. Indian children.
Tell them the poem about the Indian children.
Oh, where we walked to school each day, Indian children used to play. All about our native land, where the shops and houses stand. Here the trees were very tall, and there was no streets at all. Not a church, not a steeple, all the woods and Indian people.
Yeah.
I can't remember it all.
Go ahead on.
Does she remember Indians here?
Were you around Indians when you grew up?
Well, no, I didn't see them. I would
But
read
your
about
grandfather was an Indian.
Huh?
Your grandfather was Indian. Remember?
Yeah.
That's her parents.
He
right?
was part Indian.
In
These
there.
are, these are her parents.
Okay.
Papa
Okay.
and
Now,
Mama.
that's my
These two
dad.
Yeah, that's your
are her
mom.
parents.
Uh-huh.
And that is
That's my
the
mom and
poem
dad.
she
Yeah, that's that poem she was
was
reading.
reciting.
Tell him how you got picked on at school because you was light skinned.
And I couldn't help it. They picked on me. But I made it okay. I made it okay.
So were they mean to you because you were light?
Some of them were, but all of them wasn't. It was some, had their ways, but
Yeah.
I learned to ignore it and go ahead,
Yeah.
So because everyone in school was black?
They're black, but
Yeah,
different
everybody
complexion. Blacks come in different colors.
Right, so she was lighter,
She was like
lighter,
high,
and they...
yeah.
Okay.
They called her
But she
high
got
yellow.
Indian in her.
Like,
She-
well,
They say she got Indian.
She have Indian in her.
What kind of Indian, do you know?
Blackfoot.
Black
I'm not sure.
No.
We thought it was Cherokee,
What would it be?
maybe from this area.
Cherokee?
We thought maybe
her
Cherokee.
dad parents were, I guess it was born out, they were slaves, or they were mixed. Her dad had green eyes, blue eyes. I can't remember. Yeah, they were kind of hazel. I don't know if you can look on that picture. You can't really tell, but they were mixed. His mom was half white. So
she got
and she was like really, she's dark now.
You can tell
And
on
they-
that picture where
As
right there with my dad.
Yeah.
Look at my dad. And
Yeah,
That's
take a
dad,
picture of
that's
now.
her.
That was lovely.
Oh, okay.
But you
See how light she was there?
most black people, even if they're half white or whatever, over time, when they get older, you start to get the color starts to get darker. It's just kind of a natural thing. And her granddad on her mom's side was Native American.
Gotcha.
He was full Native American. So we've got a lot of mixture there.
She said she was so light she got mistaken uptown one time on the square.
They were passing out flyers.
Playing with marching and
Yeah.
handing out literature.
Flyers, and they gave her
And they
literature.
had her literature. So that's how bad that was back in the day. And that was in downtown Grenada.
Yeah.
She 97.
When did the
so,
Klan go away?
Well, actually, they don't go away. They just don't rise. It's like in lots of other towns. They come out when they choose.
Yeah.
But this particular
They're
time,
still
they
around.
were
still
passing out flyers down the street. It's not an everyday thing.
I don't want to say that on that.
With the Klan, it's not like there was a fight thing. You know, it's not. It's that.
Okay.
It's open racism, but none in their eyes. It's like we're not bothering anybody. We're just handing out flyers. The racism here to me is far subtle. I mean, I graduated from Ole Miss. You know, I didn't have any problems. I went there. I had no issues as far as race was concerned. I was treated really well. There were black teachers there, instructors. I didn't see any issues. And it's that thing of, like I said, it's a subtle thing. It's not where you just openly are mean to people and you're doing all these horrible things. I don't hear or see a lot of that in Mississippi. As far as, where I'm concerned, and I'm 72.
She was one of the chosen.
You're doing great.
She was one of the chosen 8. That
out of the 8
integrate schools.
Right, when they first, because I was really smart.
The 60s?
Yeah, this was in 68, 66.
When they first integrated.
When they first
schools
integrated
in Mississippi.
here in Grenada, I was Mother was always, she was nervous about everything, and I know it was because of the way she was raised.
97, 72, and
66.
you ladies are on fire.
And she was born on her birthday.
Yeah, she was born on her birthday.
On her birthday.
Birthday present, and I do like her. I write.
All right. Well, nice
Thank you, ladies. Well, Booker T, thanks for that.
Yes,
That was
no
very
problem.
cool.
I'm glad to meet you, Peter.
Thank you. Yeah. And guys, part of a bigger, greater South, Deep South series.
Yeah.
I'm doing. So I'm going from here down south
To
Alabama. So
you're
trying to
going
go
to Natchez.
north to south Mississippi,
Yeah.
south to north Alabama,
Okay.
and get an understanding of this
Well, I'll
region.
be checking them out with you
Yeah.
on your travel there,
right.
okay?
All right.
Glad to meet you again. Peter.
Thank you, brother. Thanks, guys, for coming along. Until the next one.
All right.